Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you my 3 favorite low cap gems right now in January 2023. Now, disclaimer to everyone, I do hold all 3 of these gems. I have sent buy alerts out for them in the past. So my Patreons have already been brought aware to these gems and they already know. And the likelihood is that some of you guys on the channel already know these gems. But for the people who don't, I'm going to briefly explain them all, and then I'm going to explain my reasoning as to why I believe these are good potential buys for this year and how high they could go in the future. So as always, this video is not financial advice. Always do your own research before you invest your money, as you know, these are just my opinions only. So, like I said, check out the Patreon, the link's in the description. If you want to gain access to my buy alerts, if you want to gain access to my portfolio, so you can see the next up and coming microcap gems. So the first one is Crust Network. This is 10 million in market cap. Great tokenomics here, and someone told me in the chat that actually there's a couple million tokens actually staked as well. So this further adds to the good tokenomics. It further adds to the low risk of any form of strong dilution as a threat, okay? Because obviously we like projects where there's not much of a threat of a diluted market cap, okay? We want a market cap that's quite aligned to its fully diluted market cap. Crust Network is one of those. You can see here 26 million tokens, 17 million in circulation, and apparently it's actually a little bit more than this in circulation. So great news from that tokenomics perspective. But the question is, what does Crust Network actually do? So it's a Web3 storage network, essentially, to store people's files and to store people's data, both in a decentralized way and a secure, private way. Right now, there's a lot of questions being brought up about privacy. Are your files, are your data actually private, even if you use a VPN? Instead of having to use VPNs all the time, why can't there just be a system in place where we trust the fact that it's decentralized, it's open source, and we know for a fact that our data and our files are kept in good hands, or in no hands, essentially, right? Because we don't want other people having to manage our data. We want it to be completely managed through a trustless system. And right now, a lot of your data, a lot of your private data, this can include phone calls, this can include messages, photos, search history, anything, you name it, anything you do online is arguably not fully secure. People might say it's secure, but really what they say in theory isn't actually what we see in practice. So there's a big call for a more decentralized and a more secure system in place for handling our data and our files with a more private, a more open source, and a more decentralized mechanism of operation. And that is what I believe Crust Network aim to do. Now, when you look into it and you do your good research into it, as you should, you can see that there's a lot of partnerships getting involved with this. You can see here Moonbeam, Akala. There's a lot of platforms that are using Crust Network's platform. Ethereum, Polygon, some big names. You've got the transparent timeline here, which is always good to see as well. By the way, I apologize if there's any form of lag on this video. I'll try and improve it next time. Backed by investors. You can see some of the venture capitalist firms here that have backed them. We like to see these types of things. Now, if you actually go onto Crust Network's Twitter, I believe you can see their ecosystem. And it's a very big ecosystem that they've got already on a very low cap gem. So this fills me with a lot of confidence heading into the future. I like the fact that they've already got an ecosystem that they're building. You can see it here. Look at that. So there's already a plethora of different companies or institutions or projects utilizing the Crust ecosystem. This is going to be big, and it goes into a plethora of different industries. You've got GameFi, you've got infrastructure, DeFi, Web3, NFT and Metaverse. So the potential for Crust Network really is limitless. I believe this easily, I'll say that again, easily has the potential to go to 1 billion in market cap in the next bull run. Now, when will this next bull run be? I'm talking between 2024 and 2025. We'll see the all-time high for Cross Network. Now, it might just do 500 million in market cap. But even if it does 500 million in market cap, you're talking a 50x. If it goes to 100 million if it goes to 1 billion rather in market cap, 1 billion would be 100x. So look, I'm just putting it out there. I'm giving you my thoughts, my opinions. I sent out a buy alert for this around here, January 2nd. Maybe some people have got in, but it's a great project with a lot of utility. 10 million market cap, solid project. They've been around for over a year now, so they've got some good experience in the crypto sector. They're not a startup. There's not a load of added risk. And you can see that the market cap actually went to 250 million already. So me calling this as a 1 billion market cap gem isn't that crazy when you consider how high it's gone before. So this is Cross Network, and that is the first gem that is on my radar, on my watch list for this year and for this month. The next one is a gaming project or a Web3 project called Compete. Not many people know about this one, but again, 10 million in market cap, a tiny gem with a lot of upside potential. If we look at the all-time chart and we go on market cap, you can see it's actually not gone that high before. It's a relatively new gem. It only came out in March 2022. So yes, it's been around for a while, but it didn't actually it didn't have the experience of a big bull run, because obviously that was in November 2021. So Compete here, it's a great project in my opinion. From what I'm seeing, it fills me with a lot of confidence. Basically, you design your own competitor, your own avatar, and then this guy or girl will then go into this island, and essentially there's loads of different games that you can play with your friends and compete against people. So it's basically competitive metaverse games. You've got kart racing, more games coming soon. You've got like a golf type game. You've got kind of a Fortnite type battle royale game as well. Basketball. So I'm a really big fan of this project, the game modes that they have in place already. And as you can see, they're trying to build more and more. And the graphics, the quality of the game is only going to get better over time. Like I said, it's very much in its infancy. It's just started. But I recommend going over to their Twitter and watching some of the gameplay. The graphics are actually quite good. It's built on Unreal Engine, which obviously is a very big engine for building games. Really well renowned, really well known. And look, it's going to be on Xbox, PlayStation, Epic Games, App Store, Steam, and Android. This is not a joke, guys. It's getting a lot of partnerships. It's getting on a lot of platforms. So now is the time potentially to start accumulating this, not financial advice. I want to just show you their Twitter quickly so that you can see the type of gameplay that I'm on about. And it looks good. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not the best game in the world. But when you look at this gameplay, it doesn't look too bad, right? In terms of how metaverse games go, it's definitely in the top end of metaverse games from my perspective. The island looks cool. You've got the different games, obviously, on the island. I'm a really big fan of this, and I think it's only going to get better over time. If you look at a game like Fortnite, how that progressed over time. It went from just one island where you play games to having concerts on it, loads of different game modes, and basically you had people like Marshmello doing concerts within the game. I could see something like this with Compete. So many different game modes, all in one island, all in one place. So we talk about games and how it's good to be diversified and not just go into one specific niche type of game, like for example Axie Infinity or Star Atlas. This is obviously why I prefer a project like Gala to a project like Axie Infinity, because Gala has a plethora of different games. Gala is very well diversified, whereas a project like Axie Infinity is very specific, it's very niche, it only really appeals to a certain specific genre of gamers. A project like Compete is the same as Gala. It isn't loads and loads of different games, but it's one game with different games within that game. So look, I'm very bullish on this as a project. I'm very bullish on it as a game. The question is, how much can this actually do for your money? So like I said, 10 million in market cap, good tokenomics here. 62% of the max supply is completely out. So there will never ever be more than 1 billion tokens in supply, and out of that 1 billion, 625 million is already in circulation with a total supply of 850 million. So dilution again is not a massive threat. You can see here, fully diluted would be 16 million, with a current market cap of 10 million. Not a worry for me. Again, I sent out a buy alert very recently for this one, somewhere around this range, I think, just after or just before Christmas, somewhere around this range I was buying this. And yeah, it's done a little bit of gains here, but I think this is nothing compared to how much it's actually going to do in the future. So in the last 14 days, we're up 45%, some very nice returns for the people who got in when I did. But this is nothing. I mean, I'm potentially looking at this as a 50x gem. I mean, when you consider the fact that Axie Infinity got to 10 billion in market cap, even if this just went to 1 billion, that's 100x. Okay, if it goes to 500 million, that's 50x. You put in 1 grand, you take out 50 grand in the next bull run. So I'm showing you some proper utility gems here. These aren't joke coins. I'm not the type of guy to make a video on low cap gems and just bring you loads of stupid coins with crappy tokenomics and no utility. These are genuine projects with massive real world utility. The third and final one, many of you probably guessed it, that is Viot. I sent out a buy alert for Viot all the way back down here. Okay, I think even when I had like one Patreon, I was talking about Viot. Literally, I started YouTube 4 months ago. Viot was one of my first ever videos. You can go and check back if you want. I think I did delete one video anyway because I got some calculations wrong. But basically, I was talking about Viot very, very early on. And some of my Patreons did actually get in around the very start of December and around the end of November and the middle of November. So they got in with some really nice gains. I said when the SBF situation was unfolding to my friend Crypto Seth, Viot looks like a nice buy. It looks very beaten up. Maybe this is a good buying opportunity. And guess what happened? We bought in and it went on to do incredible gains, over 10x on money from the price in which we bought in. Now, I know some people only got 3x or 4x, but that's still amazing. Now, the real question is, how high can this go in the long run? And I think it's done nothing compared to how high it's actually going to go. I haven't sold any of my Viot. I haven't taken any profits at all. When we look at this figure of 8 million in market cap, it's the lowest out of these 3 on the list. I believe this has easily 800 million market cap potential, if not a lot more. The fact that Viot is getting involved with AI and trying to help out make businesses more efficient and the day-to-day jobs of our economy more efficient means that it kind of has unlimitless potential in terms of market cap. You've got an IBM partnership. You've got a lot of different use cases here. It's already getting European regulation. It already has approved a couple of countries in Europe with regulation, and it's obviously going to try and aim to get some more. If you don't know already, this thing called Chat GPT, if I'm saying it right. GPT, yeah. This was basically like this just come out recently, and it's this bot, this AI robot, which you can message and ask it to do loads of different tasks for you. It's very, very intelligent. I'm thinking Viot's going to be something like that, but on a much more business-orientated level, with smart contracts and stuff like that. So I'd highly recommend checking out all 3 of these gems, guys. Obviously, everything I've said in this video is my opinion. It's up to you to go and do your own research and decide whether these are good fits for your personal portfolio. But I'm certainly holding all 3 of these gems heading into the next bull run. And I think they give you a really well-diversified range of low-cap gems if you're looking for those potential 100 to 200x gems. You've got one in the file and storage and cloud sector. You've got one in the gaming and metaverse sector. And then you've got an AI crypto project. So yeah. If you only want to hold 3 low-cap gems, maybe these are the 3 that you can hold. But obviously, make your own decisions. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video is any form of advice. I appreciate everyone watching. Make sure you do check out my Patreon. The link is in the description. Many lucrative benefits can await you. I highly recommend joining the VIP Plus tier because we're going to be having some pre-sale alerts coming out soon. You guys will have the potential opportunity to get into pre-sales with very, very small amounts of capital and make very lucrative rewards through that investment. If you want to go a little bit higher, look at the inner circle. This is a group of fine individuals, very serious about making their money. We're talking about these projects way in advance before I ever make videos on them, and before I even buy them. So these guys have the opportunity of buying in even before I buy in. And that is what they did on other projects like Zenith. So they got in even before me, and they went on to make some really good, lucrative rewards of around 3x within a couple days. Guys, I appreciate everyone watching this video. Have a really great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, guys.